This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning today. It's a beautiful day out here in Brooksville, Florida. Nice and sunny. The puppies are out playing or probably napping now after their big breakfast. I hope everyone's doing well. Once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Carroll family out there and Brian Carroll and his family out there in Las Vegas. In a serious accident. Hope everyone's doing well. And let's talk a little bit about our Miami Dolphins. That's if y'all want to, which I'm pretty sure you do. I'm going to go ahead and put the link out there for anybody who wants to join in. Or if you have any questions, just shoot them up. 5 dream scenarios for the Miami Dolphins and the Mike McDaniel season. Well, let's see what he has to say. This is by Gaston Rubio. Another talking head. The 2024 offseason for the Miami Dolphins started out with a dud. The Dolphins lost Christian Wilkins to the Las Vegas Raiders after both sides could not come to terms on a new contract. Andrew Van Ginkel took an offer he couldn't refuse in Minnesota. To add insult to injury, Vic Fangio bolted for Philadelphia, leaving the Dolphins to search for a new defensive coordinator for the third year in a row. Miami regrouped and hired Anthony Weaver from the Baltimore Ravens as their new defensive coordinator. Sorry about that, guys. My throat's a little sore this morning. Johnny O, what's up, brother? Ryan AP, Vamos Gatos 89. Thank you for joining us, folks. Entering year 3, Mike McDaniel's offense, Miami must win a playoff game. Well, yeah, it's a must, and that's what the fans want, of course. If he doesn't win a playoff game, fans aren't going to be happy, I can tell you that much. McDaniel's high-powered offense has fizzled out in December and January every year. Will this change this season? Oh, I hope so. But as Johnny O has stated before, I believe it was Johnny, you look at Marino's stats. He never had a good, just December, January, November, December. So we'll have to wait and see, The Dolphins are built to make plenty of noise this campaign. With that said, here are 5 things we'd like to see out of the AFC East this fall and winter. Number 5, I agree with 100%. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips return to Pro Bowl form. the way those guys are working and doing their best to get healed and ready to go, I could see it for the most part, but as we all know, that first year back after an injury, very few players are back at 100% form and stuff. Which, just like Johnny says, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see. The loss of Wilkins leaves a glaring hole on the field as well as in the locker room, and add the exit of Van Ginkel to Minnesota, and Miami needs to replace 18 sacks and 114 quarterback pressures. Losing Wilkins and Van Ginkel makes the return of Bradley, Chubb, and Jalen Phillips even more important. Yes, it does. Most certainly does. Wilkins and Van Ginkel, Miami signed several defensive tackles, 4 linebackers, and drafted Chop Robinson and Muhammad Kamara in hopes to fill in the void left by Van Ginkel and Wilkins. With Calais, Campbell, and Shaquille Barrett each on the plus side of 30, the return of Chubb and Phillips becomes more important. Before tearing his Achilles, Phillips had recorded at least 1 sack in every at least. Lolly, what? Step out the door, please. At least 1 sack in every game since week 7. Having played only 8 games in 2023, Phillips recorded 7 sacks and 27 quarterback pressures. Chubb finished his season with 13 sacks and 17 quarterback pressures through 16 games. Chubb finished tied for 10th overall in the league in sacks before tearing his ACL. Despite their injuries, both players finished in the top 30 of pass rushers. In 2023, Phillips and Chubb were well on their way to Pro Bowl before getting injured. Returning to Pro Bowl form in 2024 would be an added boost to new defensive coordinator Weaver and his scheme. His idea to use Jalen Ramsey everywhere, coupled with a Chubb and Phillips pass rush, could wreak havoc on opposing offenses. I'm not going to argue with that, but this is one guy's opinion, and we got to wait and see. Ryan, what you saying here, Ryan? Our run defense will be affected with the loss of Wilkins. However, I believe the linebacker corps can make up for that difference. I got high hopes for inside linebacker Jordan Brooks. I like the statement, Ryan. Good statement. I think we all have high hopes for anybody that we picked up. Oh, excuse me. It's Sunday morning. I'm tired, of course. That's my everyday thing. I'm tired. Number 4, Tua takes the next step. Let's see what he has to say about this. Tua is currently the 5th winningest quarterback in Dolphins history with 32 victories. Well, I mean, you got to look that we have had so many quarterbacks since Marino that no one's been given a chance. I think the last one that we had for any period of time was Tannehill. And shit. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Tannehill didn't have an offensive line to be able to do much. Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. We haven't had a good inside linebacker since Zach Thomas, but of all quarterbacks who started at least 30 games for Miami, Tua ranks 3rd in win percentage behind Bob Greasy and David Woodley. Yeah. I can't stop yawning this morning, guys. I'm sorry. Tua is 32-20 as a starter and has led the Miami Dolphins to back-to-back playoff appearances. Tagovailoa is still in search of his first playoff victory and the team's first since 2000. We are the new Detroit Lions, as people say, and all we can do is I'm sorry, hope and pray. As my daddy used to say, yawning was lack of oxygen. I guess I need to get some oxygen flowing into me or through this house. However, even with all the accolades, Tagovailoa isn't elite, at least not yet. Winning in clutch situations, orchestrating game-winning drives, and defeating superior opponents would raise Tagovailoa from good to great and maybe even elite. These are a lot of things we're hoping he steps up and changes with the new quarterback coach. And Jesus, I'm so sorry, folks. Tagovailoa is 10-10 in the months of December and January, 2-7 against playoff teams. It's well documented that Tagovailoa only has 9 total career victories against teams with a winning record. Well, yeah, he needs to make the next step up. I mean, we've all said that, and that's why. Jesus. Oh, I cannot stop freaking yawning this morning. I'm sorry. Good Lord. That's why, we say, some of us say he doesn't deserve the contract yet. He's got to make that step up this year. If he makes that step up this year and we don't have him under contract, we're going to be paying him that much more. But, hey, I'm okay with it if he can make that step up. But I'd hate to pay him what they're paying him now and he doesn't prevail. Yeah, Ryan, Tua and Holland are in the same boat. Prove you can stay healthy, perform, then you will get paid. Yeah, exactly. Plenty of good quarterbacks and safeties entering draft in the next few years. If we need to, move on. Well, I'd hate to say it, but yeah, you're right. I mean, if we need to, we need to move on. I mean, we can't pay the money they're paying quarterbacks for a average to good quarterback. We just can't. It'd be ridiculous to. Number 3 for 5 dream scenarios for the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniels. Cam Smith plays at a strong level. We all know whether it's because of Cam Smith or because of Fangio that Cam wasn't even seen really last year. I mean, Cam was second-round pick for the Dolphins in 2023. The jury is still out on his abilities and whether he can play at NFL level. During his rookie campaign, Smith found himself in Fangio's doghouse. At least that's what they say. That's the rumors. We don't know what went on. Reasons for Smith's inactivity were never made clear and always kept ambiguous by Fangio. Smith only played in 47 snaps during last season. Some undrafted free agent rookies got more playing time than the former South Carolina standout. Ramsey defended Smith, going as far as praising the rookie's game. Chris Greer has noticed Smith and his approach to this year's offseason. So, yeah, I mean, I think we all are hoping Cam Smith can be, the player that we drafted him to be. The loss of X-Men leaves quite a void on the corner position entering 2024. But we have picked up some other people. But seeing Cam Smith boost everything would be a good defense. We can concentrate on other defense in other areas. So, Cam Smith really needs the ball out this year. He needs to show that he is what we drafted him for, and everything goes well. Number 2, big so true, is that Dolphins avoid major injuries this fall and winter. Jorge Gras. Good morning, Dolphins fans. By the way, does anyone know how good Section 111 is at the stadium? 111, if I'm correct, you're gonna be in the sun. I mean, there is not a bad seat in the house of Hard Rock. I can tell you that much. You're gonna be in the sun. You're gonna want a lot of water to drink. I'll give me a few minutes. Well, let me get through this, and I'll try and look it up for you, Jorge. But I think, if I'm correct, it's on the far corner from where I'm at. I'm in 300 level. I have lots of friends in the 100 level, but I love my seats because I'm right on the railing and right on the corner, and I can see everything as it's happening. But let's get back to this. The Dolphins do need to avoid major injuries. I mean, we lost, week 1, Aaron Rodgers went down for New York. Cleveland Browns lost Nick Chubb in week 2. Felt like Miami Dolphins were snake bitten by injuries. Ramsey, Howard, Bradley, Chubb, Phillips, Raheem Mostert all missed significant time. Yes, they did. Yeah, we went into the playoff game against Kansas City, missing 7 starters on defense and fielding another lineup on the offensive line. We picked up players off that were sitting on the couch at home watching football to help us out with the offensive line, and we just still couldn't get it done. But injuries are a plague for any team, and it happens. Yes, the number one thing that would be a dream scenario for Miami is to win their first playoff game in 24 years. We need to win that playoff game. We have to. In order to – we don't win the playoff game, it doesn't matter who's on the team. They're liable to start losing season ticket holders again and stuff. Especially because if we don't win that playoff game, a lot of people are going to see things as things aren't changing. Just making the playoffs and not winning the playoff games is not going to be enough for a lot of these people. But I'm a diehard fan for over 50 years, and I'm going to stay that way no matter what happens, where they go. I don't think they're leaving Miami, not with everything Ross has done around there, not just for the football team, but for bringing money into the area with the F1s, with the Miami Open. I mean, it's going to be. I'm a fan no matter what. Good morning, Frost. How you doing, my brother? Ryan, yeah, we have picked up a lot of depth. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the support. Please hit the like button. Papa Paul, I'll see you tomorrow evening show. Have a good day, everyone, and as always, peace, love, and fins up, family.
It's only 9:21. It's only 9:21.
I am reading stuff, honey.
Oh.
Sorry about that. My wife's thinking I'm calling the show, and no, I am reading things. So anyway, yeah, we need to win a playoff game. Y'all got to come in and tomorrow night's show at 5 to 6 o'clock. Join us tomorrow at 5 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. See Dolphin winners himself, or Frost. That is, trying to look up some up here. But yeah, if we don't win a playoff game this year, it's going to put a damper on a lot of people, and I could see people leaving, the stadium once again and seats being empty. So it is what it is. Good morning, Lee. How you doing, Lee Jodry? Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it's see what we can figure out here as far as 111. I'm pretty sure is the opposite corner. I'm in the southeast corner. I think 111 is the northeast corner. And yeah, section 111 is in the northeast corner. It's right above the visitors entryway. That's where your visiting team comes in at, right there at 111. And yeah, you're going to be in the sun quite a bit if it's a 1 o'clock game. If it's a 4 o'clock game, you should be pretty okay. But yeah, it can be quite hot down there. But they're good seats. I mean, they're definitely good seats. You can't go wrong with them. Of course, like I said earlier, there's not a bad seat in the stadium. Lee, I'm doing okay. Had my good days and bad, and I'm working through it, but I appreciate you asking. So let's see what else we got here. Anything else to talk about? I know we do. Get back to my articles here. Here's something a little. Worst ranked Dolphins in NFL draft pick ever still haunts people to this day. Yeah, it's like here. If only we had time machine to tell former Miami Dolphins general manager Jeff Ireland to come to his senses throughout the years. The Miami front office has made some questionable decisions in late April, but come on, this one takes the cake. In a new article for Pro Football Network, Adam Beasley ranked the worst draft picks for the Dolphins in team history. At the top of this list was former number 1 overall AFL pick Jim Grabowski, who ended up also being drafted by the Packers, and he never suited up for the Miami. Right behind him, however, was 2013 number 3 overall pick Deion Jordan. How did that move go for Miami? Not great. The defensive end was a total first-round NFL bust, and the decision to take him in the first place continues to anger so many people in South Florida. Well, yeah, it's when you have a first-rounder that is a total bust like that. Yeah, and I mean, it was not one of those picks that I would have picked that year. I remember it vaguely, but yeah, he was on nobody's radar back then, I don't believe, really. The defensive end, total first round NFL bust, and the decision taken. Okay, Deion Jordan will forever be known as the Dolphins NFL draft bust. So, Jordan ended up lasting only 2 seasons with the Dolphins, posting 46 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 pass deflections. To make things worse, he only recorded 1 start in 2 campaigns. For a first-round pick, that is not – no. So, yeah. Let's see. Expected Dolphins O-line depth chart could thrill fans or totally make them cringe. You know, but before that, we'll go a couple more minutes and we'll take a little commercial break. Thank you, everyone on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Huddle Sports Network for joining us. Huddle Sports Network on Saturdays, 6 to 7 p.m., Sundays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Mondays, 5 to 6 p.m., and that's also on Roku TV and Amazon Fire Stick. So please just join us, or you can go back and watch us. If you can download the Huddle Sports Network on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, and you can watch any of our previous shows at that point in time. So, training camp for the Miami Dolphins will begin in late July, and we are almost there. Can't wait. God, I can't wait. The Dolphins are hoping to build on last year's season, but one position group is still a unit worth paying attention to. The Dolphins' offensive line remains a question mark no matter what Chris Greer says publicly. Last year was much better, and that should be credited to Butch Barry, who came in and made lemonade out of lemons. The Dolphins' goal is simple: do enough to get the job done. This year's offensive line depth chart may not fluctuate as much as some may believe. The Dolphins are expected to enter the camp, the only one real competition, and that may not be a competition at all. Here is a look at the starters of the 4 of the 5 positions. Austin Jackson, right tackle. Aaron Brewer, center. Isaiah Wynn, left guard. Teron Armstead, left tackle. And then right guard. This is the only position that is expected to have competition from the start of camp. Liam Eichenberg is hoping to compete for a guard position, but he has in the past played left guard. He will compete this year with several players who are looking to take a starting role. The depth of the offensive line is decent and should hold up well for the Dolphins in case they are needed. At left tackle, Kendall Lamb did well filling in for Armstead, and he should be the primary backup in 2024, with Patrick Paul set as the third option on depth chart. Patrick Paul, I know, is a big old boy, and I can't wait to meet him. They say Paul isn't ready yet and is not someone who is believed capable of playing inside. Well, you know what? We have to wait and see. I mean, we have to wait and see. It's you never know. Eichenberg will compete with Jack Driscoll and Robert Jones for the right guard position, or at least should be in the mix. Driscoll has 5 years of experience and should be one of the front runners to start, but at the very least, he will provide depth. After this group, the Dolphins will see what plays out with Keon Smith, Ryan Hayes, Lester Cotton, and Chasen Hines. They also have several undrafted rookies to make decisions on as well. Miami is likely going to only keep 9 offensive linemen once it's time for the 53-man roster cuts. Yeah, I mean, so it's good. Sorry about that. I had something come in, and I can catch up with it in a bit. We got to wait and see. There's a lot going on. Joe Risk, good morning. Jamie Reihart, good morning. Got about a half hour to go. I'm going to throw the link out there again. And real quick, we're going to do a short commercial break.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Chef Jew, we love his cupcakes. You can catch him at the tailgate and at the games. His dad's with him sometimes. His dad works sometimes in the parking lot area. Chef Jew is a great guy, great food. You can't go wrong with him. 3 areas the Miami Dolphins improved this offseason, and 2 they did not. When the Miami Dolphins offseason began, fans knew there would be a lot of turnover. They were a bit surprised by how much. Yeah, I mean, we had, I think it was 29 or 33 free agents, and we didn't sign a lot of them. With the draft now behind the Miami Dolphins and free agency long gone, it is easier to look at how the Dolphins roster has changed. Clearly, the biggest question is the turnover at defensive tackle. The loss of Christian Wilkins has been hard-hitting reality for most fans, but for Dolphins, it was more of an inevitability they knew was likely to come to fruition. Miami's attempted replacement of Wilkins wasn't a high-profile free agent or a top blue-chip draft prospect. It was 8 low-grade free agents with high ceilings and rotational value. Yeah, that's where I'm excited to see Coach Weaver. He does a lot of rotation with his players, trying not to get them too tired at once and stuff, letting Ramsey play wherever he is comfortable playing with out there on the field. And, I mean, sometimes from what I heard, as much as 3 safeties in the backfield. We'll have to see. Did the Dolphins improve or get worse at the defensive tackle position? That's a tough question to answer right now because Wilkins has not been easily replaced. Well, we know that. Dolphins, no question, improved at wide receiver. Yeah, with OBJ and even a rookie. I mean, We still have Burrios and Craycraft will compete and make the roster this year, but Hill, Waddle, EZ, OBJ. So Cedric Wilson, Robbie Chosen was relied on to handle the job when Hill and Waddle were down. The results were not great. OBJ is better than both of those receivers, and thus it makes the Dolphins wide receivers room better heading into 2024. Malik Washington and Taj Washington will compete for roster spots as rookies. And I'm sure with the rookies that we actually drafted, they will make the team one way or another, trying to keep them from being picked up by another team. Just here we go again, starting to yawn. Sorry about that, guys. We just have to wait and see. Anything can happen. Secondary is still an issue for the Dolphins, I guess. I understand fans love the addition of Jordan Porter. It was a necessary move that was cost effective for the Dolphins, but it is better than Deshaun Elliott last year. I love Deshaun Elliott. I mean, he's a great guy all the way around. I wish he was still there. I really wanted to get it, and I still can get it. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it. I want to get this picture out to him and get him to sign it, because that's Deshaun Elliott hitting Mahomes right there where it broke the helmet, as you see the piece right there flying off. And that's how cold it was that day. I mean, extremely cold day. Let's see, Jamie Reithart. If we bring one more interior O-line and one more cornerback, I think we are looking like the best we have in some time. Very deep, maybe not as top-tier talent, but more depth. Yeah, I agree. Dudley Do-Wrong had a good point on Chris Wilkins, whose replacement is Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer, I love Zach. They were a great team together, yes, and maybe we picked up someone to go along with them, where it's another great team. We'll have to wait and see. We still have Javon Holland. He's another one who's, if we're going to keep him, we need to sign that, do that extension with him on a contract. So it's a never-ending battle with all that. One perfect Dolphins move to fill out a roster before 2024 training camp, which, I look at our depth as wide receiver, and after OBJ, we have Craycraft, we have Burrios, but I don't know about total out wide receivers. Of course, we have the new kid, the Washington boys, which could end up being, like someone said the other night, could end up being, the next Marx brothers. You got the Washington brothers. But they're saying, look at a free agent, assess the player as if they will make it through a season, not without injuries, but with limited ones. And they're talking about someone to come in and back up, Hill and Waddle after OBJ, which they're looking at Michael Thomas, bring the Dolphins, who's injury prone, but he's I guess, he's 6'3", 212 pounds. Is he the right move at this stage? He's injury prone. We have to wait and see. Even if we draft him. But it's a guy that Greer would like because it'd be a 1-year contract if we do sign him, not draft him. If we do sign him, it'd be a 1-year contract, and we get him cheap, more than likely, real cheap. And hopefully, he can work out. I mean, he had 92 receptions and 9 touchdowns over the last, let's see. He increases catches each year, 104, 125, and a shocking 149 during the 2019 season. But injuries hit hard over the last 4 seasons. Thomas played 7, 0, 3, and 10 games. His Pro Bowl days, 2017 and 19, and AP Offensive Player of the Year status 2019 landed as a silent movie in the rearview mirror. So why would Miami commit to Thomas? They wouldn't. Whatever contract is signed would likely be loaded with incentives. It would be written so that Thomas has to get on the field if he wants to make NFL money. Which, that's a good contract to me. Saves us money if he doesn't get on the field. So, it is what it is. I don't think we'll, unless it's, like a veterans minimum with a lot of incentives, very little guaranteed money. I don't think we'll sign them, but that's another one of those wait and see. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up, talk about? Throw it in there. It's 9:42. We have about 15 minutes left of today's show. Here's these articles, you got to take them all with a grain of salt. These are just talking heads. They write these articles, one, maybe because they're good with the words. 2, maybe they're good with causing controversy amongst the fans and stuff with their words. So it's anything. Aurelio Perez, quarterbacks mentioned as potential Tua Tagovailoa replacements would be a disaster for Miami. Well, yeah. We don't want to replace him. Not right now. I mean, he's the best thing we got going for us right now. When is Miami Dolphins general manager Chris Greer going to understand that the grass isn't always greener on the other side? Time and time again, we've seen the Miami GM get cheap in terms of contract negotiation, and it has come back to haunt the Dolphins. Yeah. I mean, but he is a contract guru. He knows how to write these contracts up where it's going to Sorry, reading Jamie Reithart. How do you see the end of the season gauntlet realistically? Packers, Jets, Texans, Niners, Browns, and Jets. Well, the Jets are really, if Aaron Rodgers is still there, it's going to be a battle. The Texans, after last year's Texans, and they've helped out with things this year. C.J. Stroud, if he has another year just like last year, yeah, the Texans are going to be something to worry about. The Niners, we're at home with the Niners. Yeah, it's McDaniel's former team. It's gonna be a good battle, but I think we can beat the Niners. The Browns, I think we can beat the Browns. The Packers, that's cold weather up there in Green Bay. I'm hoping it's a great game at the very worst. Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that is a hell of a schedule. Because we play the Jets, and then 3-4 weeks later, we're playing the Jets again. It's a wait and see. Our offense. The Jets had a good defense last year. They had a good defense. They didn't have anything for offense because of Aaron Rodgers' injury, but they had a good defense. Their defense was done well last year, but we were able to dominate over them. What position group do we have the least depth in, Joe? I think right now that's really, it's going to be probably, I think it's either inside linebacker or it's the right guard. I know we've picked up a lot of offensive linemen, but it doesn't mean they all play right guard or anything. But I think it might be the inside linebacker. I wasn't even thinking quarterback. No, we have depth there. It's a matter of, is the depth worth it? As far as the Jets game, at the very least, if Rodgers is healthy, I still think we're going to split. At the very least, we still could win both. I think I really do, but I think the worst case scenario, we split with the Jets. We beat the Browns. I feel we can beat the Niners. The Texans and Packers, I think those are two games we really got to look out for. I think we could lose those. But there again, I got to see how our defense is going to come together. I mean, it came together later, in the season. It got better and better. Then we started getting all those damn injuries. So, yeah, it's not. It's not something I can really say now, but it's going to be those last 6 games are going to be a tough 6 games, especially because, going in the cold with the Browns up in Cleveland and then up in Michigan and in Jets Stadium. Which rookie am I most excited about? The Jalen, our running back Jalen, because I see him being used. I see him being used not only as a running back, but as a receiver or even special teams on kickoffs and punt returns. Johnny O, the Panthers parade is today. Yes, if you're down in Miami, go down, see the Panthers parade going on and stuff. Congratulations, Florida Panthers, for winning the Stanley Cup. So it is what it is. Everyone, y'all have a blessed day and a great week. We have a few more minutes. But the Panthers parade, great series. I'm glad they won. I'm very glad they won. South Florida needed a win like that, really. help boost the area, plus as well as boost the fans for everything, all the sports they have down there, which is hockey, baseball, basketball, and football, and soccer. So just like over here in Tampa, we have hockey, football, baseball, soccer. Don't have basketball over here, but it's all good to go. Enjoy that party down there in the Panthers parade. Yeah, Joe, Jalen, our running back, because I could see him being used in multi positions. And thank you, Lee. Thank you. It's Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright is our rookie that we drafted, and with his speed, his ability to be able to play multiple positions, I look at that's what players are going to have to do in the future in order to stand out on a team, is be able to play multiple offensive positions or multiple defensive positions. They do that, and it's going to be they'll make a team a lot easier than others. So I see we have preseason, we have Atlanta and Washington, both at home, and then we come over to Tampa to play Tampa for the preseason. Our first game is against Jacksonville on a Sunday. Then that coming Thursday, we have the first Thursday night game against Buffalo. And, we have 2 division games and a AFC East or 2 conference games and a division game. So we really need to start off 2-0 for Miami to have that jump out and get things going. We need to start off 2-0. Otherwise, it could look disastrous for us for the rest of the year. So we got to wait and see. Training camp for dates. Training camp. Rookies report July 16th. Veterans report July 23rd. Open training camp for anybody who wants to go watch the Dolphins practice is July 29th, 30th. I don't know. And it goes all the way through. Really, there's multiple days. I think there's about 10 days all the way up to the joint training camp with the Falcons right before their game. So, and tickets are available for training camp starting July 8th. So if you want, keep that in mind. If you're going to go to training camp, you got to sign up for your tickets. Tickets are free. Unlike the Buccaneers, yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they only have 2 open training camps from what I saw, and they charge $10 a person. Granted, all the $10 per person goes to charity, but at least Greer or Ross got that right, where bringing the people in for free, he makes enough money off the concession stands during practice, so it's good. So I can't wait for training camp. I want to see what Weaver has to show us. As we know, they won't show us everything. and it will go. I will be at basically all the open training camps the first 2 weeks and the preseason game. So, other than that, it's been a wonderful, blessed week for me. Had a beautiful weekend with the wife. And Lee, if you were going to make it to training camp, let me know. I'll be down there. As my wife says, I'll be down there couch surfing. But I go to all the training camps. I'm usually one of the first ones there, parked in the morning. I bring donuts to workers, and I got a lot of stuff I got to work on getting signed this year so I can get them out there to raffle off and things. Have any questions? For those of you who want WCFL Helping Hands, WCFL Miami Dolphins Fan Club, we are collecting money for either your fan club or your name or both. $20 per each for the fan club or your name. Be on the back of a shirt. The front of the shirt will say peace, love, and fins up family. The back of the shirt will say united we stand, we are family, with the list of everyone who donated, with like WCFL Miami Dolphins Fan Club, Positive Porpoise, Dolphins Nation Mexico, Pamela Dolphin and her show. There's John Pratt. You can, like I said, John Pratt will be on there, and $20 a shirt. And it buys all these shirts that I'm using. You're not getting the shirt for $20. Those shirts are going out to the Miami Dolphins team and alumni for them to see that we are family. We are united. We stand behind our Miami Dolphins. And, these people that I've mentioned have all donated already for one or more shirts. So if you want to join in, you can contact me directly through Facebook. You can contact me if you have my phone number through text or Facebook Messenger or Instagram, Twitter. Instagram, it's at Papa Paul 6767. So message me any of the ways if you're interested in joining. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody. God bless y'all.